third session for the day. This is the class on Venn diagram. If you have missed the previous two sessions, you can always watch them on the Hastel app. You can go and scroll for the videos that are there, and you can just click on the videos and watch it again. Now, this is a class which is based on Venn diagrams, the question discussion. There is from the reasoning section of the examination, and there are two types of questions. In fact, three varieties we can say, and I'll be discussing all the three types with you one by one. I'll put a question on the screen, and once the question is on the screen, you can try solving it first on your own, and after that you can look at the solution that I discussed with you. So starting with the first question here, this is a caselet based question in which some information is given to you, and based on that information you have to make Venn diagram sets and solve the question, find out what is the answer. So look at this question, let's read it together and understand what this question is all about. In a town of 500 people, 285 read Hindu and 212 read Indian Express and 127 read Times of India. So three newspapers are there, and we have been given information regarding 500 people of a particular town, and also about how many of them overall read the Hindu newspaper, how many of them read the Indian Express, and how many of them read the Times of India. Then we also see that 20 read Hindu and Times of India, 29 read Hindu and Indian Express, and 35 read Times of India and Indian Express. 50 read no newspaper. Then how many read only one paper? A lot of information is there regarding the total number of people first. So we have total of 500 people, and we divide them into three sets in front of three sets are there. So if you want to make a Venn diagram and solve this, I'll show you how to solve a Venn diagram, and then I'll also show you how to solve it directly by a formula. So we make a diagram like this. So we'll say, okay, let this rectangular block represent the total number of people who read all of these three newspapers. Okay, so total are 500 people in the town, and three subsets we have. So one we say, this is for the Hindu. Let's make one more circle, and that is for the Indian Express, and the third one is for the Times of India. The Times of India. Now we have some information regarding these newspapers. Let's write down that information. Total persons who read the Hindu is 285. Total who read the Indian Express is 212, and the total who read the Times of India is 127. So this entire circle is 127. Okay. Now we also know that 20 read Hindu and Times of India. So this entire circle, this entire thing here, this is 20. Now this represents both the portion, this portion as well as this portion. So let's do one thing. Let's say this is X. So this, the remaining portion here would become 20 minus X, because total people who read the Hindu and Times of India. Sorry, so let's just pick a correction here. 1 second. This is not 20. What is given to us is that the 20 people read Hindu and Times of India. Hindu and Times of India. That total is equal to 20. So this is X. This portion here is 20 minus X. Okay, fine. And 29 read Hindu and Indian Express. So this portion is equal to 29 minus X. And 35 read Times of India and Indian Express. This portion here is 35 minus X. And also we know that 50 read no newspaper. So outside there are 50 people. 50 read no newspaper. So what we have to do now is to find out what is this portion, what is this portion, and what is this portion equal to. Okay. Now let's see how to do that. A total people who read the Hindu is 285. So 285 we have. And if you look at the three portions here, one is this one. It is 29 minus X. So we can say subtract it here, 29 minus X. and because from the total we are subtracting 29 minus x, and then we subtract this 35 minus x also, 35 minus x, and then we can also subtract this x because this x is also here, subtract x. So if you look at this, what will be the total value that we are going to get here? 285 and minus 29 and minus 35 is equal to minus 64. So minus 64, that gives us 1 and 221, and minus x, this minus and minus will become plus, and this minus and minus will become plus. So 2x minus x is plus x, so 221 plus x. This is the total number of people that will go in this place here, 221 plus x. Okay, now similarly we'll find out this area also. The total is 212. From 212 we'll subtract 29 minus x, and then we'll also subtract 20 minus x, and we'll also subtract this x here. So 3 times we subtract, so we'll get how much? 212 minus 29 and this is minus 49. Let's find out how much is this value first equal to. So 12 minus 9, that is 3, and then 10 minus 4 is 6, so 163. And again we have minus is plus x, and then we have plus 2x minus x, plus 2x minus x is equal to x. So 163 plus x, this area is equal to 163 plus x. Okay. Final area that is left is this part, which is only for time shift India, and let's find out that value also. So we have total 127, and 127 minus of that we can take here minus 20 minus x, this portion, minus this portion, that is 35 minus x, and minus x. So you get 127 minus 55, that's equal to 2, and 72 plus x. This area is now 72 plus x. Okay, so we have done this calculation. So what we'll do, just remove the remaining part from below, and then just find out what is the value of x, and then solve the entire question. Okay, so let's just remove this thing. So we have got all of the areas now, and this total should be equal to what? Let's find out that. Okay, and we will see what other technique we can use to solve the question. Okay. Now let's understand, we have so many different values here, 221 plus x, and then we have plus 29 minus x, plus 35 minus x, plus x with this value, plus 163 plus x. Then we can also add this 20 minus x here, plus 72 plus x, plus 35 minus x already we have taken, so let's just remove this. Okay, fine. And then finally we'll add x, and this total should be equal to, 1 second, this total should be equal to 450. And once we solve this entire equation, we get the value of x, and from that we can find out all the values. Okay, so let's first of all just add up all the values that we can see here in plus. So 221, then we have 163, then we have 72, then we have 29, then we have 35, then we have 20. Let's add up all of these values, the number that we can see, and just check how much is that. 4, 2, 6, 6, 9, 15, 15 plus 5, 20, 2 in hand, 4, 6, 10, 10, 7, 17 plus 2, 19, 19 plus 3, 22, 22 plus 2, 24, again 2 in hand. So 4 plus 1, 5, 540 we are getting. And now let's see how many x's we can cancel out. So we have this minus x, and this minus x will get cancelled with this plus x, and this plus x. Okay, this minus x will get cancelled with this plus x, and then how many x's are left? This one plus x is left here, and 1 plus x is left here, so we have 2x here. This total should be equal to 450. One second. So let's just see here something wrong we have done. Okay. Some calculation mistake. This should be minus 2x. Okay. So a 540 minus 450, that should give you 2x here, and that will give you the value of x actually. So 50 plus 40, 90 equal to 2x, or x equal to 45. I'll give you a direct formula for this, so you can look at that formula and get the answer. Then how many read only one paper? Once you get this x value equal to 45, how many read only one paper? So for one paper we can see 221 plus 72 plus 163 and plus 3x. That is going to give you the total here. So 221 plus 72 plus 163. Let's write it down here. Total 3 plus 2 5 plus 1 6, and 4 plus 9 plus 6 15, 456, and you can say here minus 3x, actually minus 3x, minus 135, that's equal to 321. So 321 is your final answer. Okay, now for this question what we'll do in a little different way, by understanding some of the formulas of set theory, so that we don't have to make the diagram, because little complex data, we don't know how many people read all 3 newspapers. So how to solve it directly by using a formula. So let me just give you the formula directly here regarding this particular question. So let's just remove this diagram and understand one single formula to work with all of these questions, so that you don't have to draw the diagram every time and solve it. Okay, so when we have 3 set diagrams, let's say we have A and B and C, 3 set diagram is there, and this total is given as a union. We can say that n of A union B union C. That means if I take all of these things together, it should be equal to n of A plus n of B. So directly how to do it by the formula, in case you can remember the formula, that's much simpler. N of A plus B plus C minus of n of A intersection B minus of n of B intersection C. This intersection means the common areas, minus n of A intersection C and plus n of A intersection B intersection C. This is one simple and direct formula to solve these kind of a Venn diagram based question. N here represents number of elements. So here we have 3 elements here. So let's understand what are the 3 elements that we have. This is the Hindu newspaper, this is the Indian Express, and this is the Times of India. Okay, now we also know that 50 people don't read any newspaper. So out of total 500, if 50 are removed, then this entire thing should become equal to 450. 450 is equal to, and then we can just write down the values of total people who read the Hindu. So that's 285. Total who read the Indian Express is 212, and total who read the Times of India is 127. So this is the first thing that we do. Next we subtract all of the overlapping areas. 20 read Hindu and Times of India, so minus 20, and then we know 29 read Hindu and Indian Express, so that's minus 29, and 35 read Times of India and Indian Express, so minus 35, and the common area, this area that we don't know, let's call this area as x value. So let's write on here plus x, and this will give you the total. Let's see, 450 equal to the 285 plus 212 plus 127 is equal to how much? So you can see 5 plus 2 7, 7 plus 7 14, that gives you 1. So 10 plus 2 12, again that gives you 1, that's 624. And then we can say here we have minus 20, minus 20, so 20, 29 and 35, that gives you equal to 49 plus 30, 79, 79 plus 5, that is 84, minus 84 plus x should be giving you the value of x. So 624 minus 84, that is 0, and 62 minus 8, that is 540. 450 equal to 540 plus x. In fact, this something, if the values are wrong, otherwise x will be equal to this difference. So I think something with the values here are wrong, but this is the formula that you can just note down, that n of a intersection b intersection c is equal to n of a plus n of b plus n of c minus of n a intersection b minus of n of b intersection c minus of n of a intersection c plus n of a intersection b intersection c. Okay, so some data mistake is there in the question. So this is one of the formulas. Now let's look at the next question here. This is the next Venn diagram based question that you can get in the examination. How many persons prefer, this is a diagram given to you. There's one triangle, there's one circle, and there's a rectangle. Okay, now the triangle represents those who drink tea, the circle represents those who drink coffee, and the rectangle represents those who drink badam milk. Okay, so we have tea, coffee, and badam milk. There are three different beverages, and based on that we have to answer three questions here. How many persons prefer only two beverages? How many persons prefer only one beverage, and how many persons prefer all three beverages? This is a very common question in exams like FCAT, SSC. So here we have a triangle, a rectangle, and a circle, and we have to find out the answer based on the diagram. So diagram, this here is a figure which represents tea, this is the one which represents coffee, and this is the one which represents badam milk. Okay, right. So how many persons prefer only two beverages, or how many persons prefer only two beverages? So you can see here, we have to find out those numbers which you can find in the overlapping portions. So those who prefer tea and coffee, let's find out those who prefer tea and coffee only. Okay, those who prefer tea and badam milk only, and those who prefer badam milk and coffee. So these are three sets of people that we want to find out only two beverages. So tea and coffee. So if you look at the number which is overlapping of tea and coffee, that is only this number 7. The 7 represents the area which is common to triangle and circle. Tea and badam milk, if you look at tea and badam milk, the only number which is there common to only these two are 17. And the third one is badam milk and coffee. That means we look at the overlap of rectangle and the circle, that number is 30. So if you add these three, 47 plus 7 is 54. So the answer will become 54. That is the answer for question number 1, that is 54. Now the next question is, how many persons prefer only one beverage? If you want to look at only one beverage, only tea, only coffee, and only badam milk, that means we are looking for those numbers which don't have any overlap with any other diagram. So this number, you can see here, this number 10 is common only to the triangle, and this number 20 is also common only to the triangle. So 20 plus 10 is 30. Similarly, if you look at the rectangle, we get two numbers here, 40 and 20, which is 60. And if you look at the circle, we get two numbers, that is 35 and 20, that is 25 and 20, that is 45. 105 plus 30 is equal to 135. So that is your value here. That's the answer to question 2. And how many persons prefer all three beverages? We look at all of the three beverages, tea, badam milk, and coffee. The common area of all the three beverages is this number 15, which is common to the circle, the triangle, as well as rectangle. That is the answer for the third question, 15. So this is your Venn diagram question from reasoning, which is based on the diagram sets given to you. Okay, so we have discussed three questions here. Let's move to the next type of Venn diagram question. Very similar to the previous one. We have again three figures here. One is a triangle, which is the which represents something that's poisonous. One is the circle, which represents dangerous, and one is the square, which represents snakes. And the question is asking you which number represents snakes that are dangerous but not poisonous. Dangerous but not poisonous. That means they should be in the circle. We are looking for snakes which are overlapping in the circle but not in the triangle. So we have only 4 such snakes which are in the circle for dangerous but not in the triangle for poisonous, and therefore the answer is D. So this is how we get these questions done. So the three areas have to be clearly understood. What are the three diagrams here? Triangle is for poisonous, Circle is for dangerous and the square is for snakes. Next we look at question 4. Same diagram is there. Which number represents snakes that are poisonous but not dangerous? So again, now this time we're looking for poisonous but not dangerous. It should not be in the circle. And there are two such snakes which are poisonous but not dangerous. So the answer becomes C. A very simple question, this one. Poisonous but not dangerous. Next we'll be looking at the next question, number 5 here. Now here we have two squares and one rectangle. The square here represents hockey, the square here represents cricket, and the square here represents football. And how many persons play at most two games? At most two means two or less, or two or one in this case, because it is one game or two games. Okay. So those who are playing two games, that means hockey plus cricket, hockey plus football, and football plus cricket. Let's find out these three numbers here. Okay. So hockey is this square. This square is hockey, and this is the cricket square. And you can see this number 40 is overlapping between hockey and cricket. So that's 40. And hockey plus football. So this is the hockey square, and this is the rectangle for football, and I need a number that is common to these two, that's 29. Write down 29 here. And football, which is the rectangle, and cricket, which is the square here, any number that is common to the rectangle and square, that's 66. So 66, so we get this total here, that's 135. So 135. How many of them play only one game? So that means there should be number only inside one figure, that is 40 here, 39 here, that is 79, and 52 here. 79, 80 plus 51, 131. 131. If you add the total here, 135 plus 131, that is 266. That's answer option B. How many persons play at most two games? The answer would be 266. Similar question number 6 here. We have two triangles, one representing the plates, one representing round plates, one representing steel. Okay. So what is the number of round steel plates? So it should be in all the three diagrams. It should be round plus steel plus plates. So it should be common to all the three figures. And the only number which is common to all the three figures is this number 17. It's in the first, in this triangle, as well as this triangle and the rectangle. So the answer is 17, and that is answer option A. What is the number of round steel plates? Okay. Now question number 7. Now this is a different variety of questions now, based on relationship between different sets of things given to us in the exam. So what happens if you get 5 questions in the exam, sometimes in a set, and they will give you 3 different things and ask you which Venn diagram gives the best relationship between or among the 3 things. So here in this case we have elephants, wolves, and animals. Which of the following diagram correctly represents elephants, wolves, and animals? So 3 categories we have: elephants, wolves, and animals. So first of all, elephants and wolves both are animals. So animals would be the larger set here. So I think something like this would help. This is animals. This circle represents all animals. And inside this circle we have 2 circles, one for elephants and one for wolves. We know elephants can't be wolves and wolves can't be elephants, but both of them are animals. So answer has to be answer option A. Okay, that's how we solve these questions based on relationships and Venn diagrams. So let's look at question number 8 on the screen here for you. Which now you can try and post the answer in the comment section. Which one of the following diagrams best depicts the relationship between awards, Pulitzer Prize, and Oscar Awards? Relationship between awards, Pulitzer Prize, and Oscar Awards. The 3 categories are awards, that is category 1. Then we have Pulitzer Prize, and then we have Oscar Awards. So Pulitzer Prize and Oscar Awards both belong to the category of awards, So that's correct answer is C. Awards being the bigger category, inside which we have two categories. One is the Pulitzer Prize and one is the Oscar, which is very similar to the previous question of animals, elephants, and wolves. Okay. Now let's move to question number 9. Same thing here. Which of the following diagrams best depicts the relationship between human beings, teachers, and graduates? Look at this: human beings, teachers, and graduates. So first of all, we can say teachers and graduates both belong to human beings. So we need a circle which contains answer option A has to be wrong. Now let's look at B, C, and D. Now, can we say the answer is C? No, we can't say that teachers and graduates have no overlap. Can the answer be B? Some teachers graduates, some graduates are teachers. Can we say that? Or could the answer be D? So that means human beings in the largest circle, and inside that we have all those who are graduates. And since we know all teachers are graduates, so we can put teachers inside. So I think the correct answer is answer option D. Considering the fact that all teachers are graduates, and then teachers and graduates both must be inside the largest circle of human beings. Question number 9. This is question number 10. Which of the following diagram best depicts the relationship between judge, thief, and criminal? So look at the three categories: judge, thief, and criminal. So we can clearly see that thief and criminal should be in the same category, and judge should be a different category. So A is definitely out because there are only two diagrams here. Now we can't have an overlap between judge and thief and criminal, so D is obviously out. Now if we say this is judge, this is thief, and this is criminal, that's also not possible, because then that would suggest that some thieves are not criminals, which is not right. The correct answer is B. Judge is a separate category, and then we have a larger category of criminals, and inside criminals we have a smaller category of thieves, because thieves are one of the types of criminals. Okay, now question 11. Which of the following diagram best depicts the relationship between capsules, antibiotics, and injections? So let's look at the three categories here. We have one category for capsules, one for antibiotics, and one is for injections. Capsules, antibiotics, and injections. So how can we relate between the two? We can say that antibiotics is a larger circle. So let's say antibiotics are there. Some antibiotics are in the form of capsules. Some antibiotics are in the form of injections, and capsules and injections will not have any overlap, which is why the correct answer is C. We have tried to understand what is the given keywords to you, and how we can use those keywords to get the best diagram that represents the relationship. So the best one would be here answer option C, based on the information given to us. Okay, so all we can say antibiotics will now be the largest set, and inside that larger set we have two smaller sets, one for capsules and one for injections, and we can say capsules are not injections, injections are not capsules. So let's do one more question here. Question number 12. Which of the following diagrams best depicts the relationship between professors, researchers, and scientists? So professors who teach in colleges, and researchers who research on a particular subject, and then we have scientists. How are we going to link all of these things together? Professors, researchers, and scientists. If you look at A, now what would be the largest circle here? Would we say that researchers is the largest circle? Okay, that's not possible. We can't put all scientists and professors under researchers. We can't say all professors are researchers. So A is definitely out here. Can we say that researchers is a bigger circle and that all scientists will be inside and then professors will be inside? I don't think that would also be the best way to represent. What is the best diagram here would be to say this is professor, this is researcher, this is scientist. Some professors are researchers, some researchers are professors, some researchers are scientists, some scientists are professors. So there's a common area of the three overlapping sets and that is why the answer for question number 12 has to be answer option D. So we have discussed different types of questions from Venn diagrams. One type of question is a mathematical question where some data is given. I've given you a formula. There's something wrong with the values there, but you can note down that formula of n of a given b and c. That will help you in solving the question. And then we have questions which are more logical and reasoning in nature, as in the overlapping diagrams and the relationship-based Venn diagrams. So students, these are the three sessions for today. Now first one was for current affairs, second for general awareness, and third for Venn diagram based logical reasoning. Every Saturday we do the classes for you at 10 o'clock live sessions, so please join in these sessions and make the best of these classes that we are doing for you. If you enjoy our videos and learn something from them, please like our videos on YouTube and share with your friends. And if you're watching it on YouTube, you can download the Haslan app so that you can directly go through the question videos in your app itself. You can get a lot of other good stuff that is available in the app for all students who are preparing for competitive examination. So this is students, so all the three videos are done for the day. Thank you for joining with me today, and I'll be seeing you again next week in a new set of videos to help you prepare for your examination. Thank you so much.